Hi flying friends! The new version of FOFSIM has a new aircraft and a couple of cool new features. The new aircraft is the all-electric Pipistrel Velis Electro. In this video we will use the Velis to explore one of the cool new features called the Live Lift Formula. The Live Lift Formula is shown together with the CL diagram. So let's select a cruise flight preset and the CL diagram. And here is the new live lift formula. Why is it called live? Well, because it changes in real time. So you can immediately see the effects of your control inputs. The first line shows the formula as you might know it from aerodynamics. It contains all the variables that affect lift. The second line shows the same lift formula, but with all current values inserted. And the third line saves you from doing all the math and shows the resulting lift in Newton and in kilogram force. The resulting lift defines the length of the blue lift vector. Next, let's take a quick look at the variables that affect lift. The light blue part contains air density and true airspeed. The larger both of them are, the more lift is generated. The effect of airspeed is even quadratic. This means that doubling the airspeed causes 4 times the lift. Notice that airspeed is given in meters per second, which is about half of the number in knots. Meters in second are preferred in physics to make all the units match. You may have heard that the light blue part is called dynamic pressure. Now, lift increases with dynamic pressure, therefore it makes sense to put it into the lift formula. The orange part is the wing area. Lift increases with wing area, and doubling the wing area causes twice the lift. The wing area of the Velis is 9.5 square meters. So we put that into the formula as well. And finally the pink part is the so-called coefficient of lift, or CL, which depends on the shape of the wing and the current angle of attack. It is taken from the CL diagram, which shows the coefficient of lift for each angle of attack. Although the general form of this diagram is the same for all wing shapes, the exact numbers are unique for each wing shape. Currently our angle of attack is 5.4 degrees, which results in a CL of 0.72. All values together currently result in a lift of about 600 kilogram force. And that's exactly the lift that is required to carry the weight of our aircraft. Now, how come that the wings produce exactly the right amount of lift? Well, we will find out. Next, we slightly push on the stick. Let's stop here for a moment and see what happened. Pushing on the stick decreased our angle of attack to 1.6 degrees. This caused the CL to decrease to 0.46. The new CL is inserted into the lift formula, which gives a lift of about 450 kilogram force. Now lift is about 150 kilogram force less than our weight. And this deficit in lift causes the aircraft to accelerate downward and into a descent. Let's continue. Now the aircraft speeds up. And after a couple of oscillations, the aircraft will settle in a steady descent. Now the aircraft settled in a steady descent with a lower CL and a higher airspeed than before. Together they give the same lift as before, about 600 kilogram force. Now lift and weight are in balance again. So reducing CL by pushing on the stick causes the aircraft to adapt its flight path until the resulting speed in the lift formula again gives the required amount of lift to carry our weight. Now what happens if we pull on the stick? Will this always result in a climb? Let's see. So we pull on the stick and pause for a moment. Pulling on the stick increased our angle of attack to 8.3 degrees. This caused the CL to increase to 0.92. The new CL is inserted into the lift formula, which gives a lift of about 730 kilogram force. Now lift is about 130 kilogram force more than our weight. This surplus in lift causes the aircraft to accelerate upward and into a climb. Let's continue. Now the climb slows the aircraft down. Let's pull a bit more. After a couple of oscillations, the aircraft adapts its flight path to the higher CL. Now we have a higher CL and a lower airspeed than before. Together they give us the same lift as before, about 600 kilogram force. Now lift and weight are in balance again. But now we are in a descent. How did that happen? To understand what's going on here, we have to take a look at the drag curve. So let's select the drag diagram. Here we see that from a certain point, flying slower causes more drag. Let's take a look at the power curve. Here we see that flying slower therefore requires more power. This is called the backside of the power curve, or the area of reversed command. In this area, more power is required to fly slower. And if we do not provide that power, then the aircraft will descend to fly this airspeed. So, although pulling gives you a higher CL, it means down once you are on the backside of the power curve, because the lower airspeed requires more power. For the unprepared and unaware, the backside of the power curve is a dangerous place to be. For instance, if you are on an approach and pull to stretch your glide. Now the insidious thing is that at first this seems to work. That's because at first you are too fast for the increased CL, and the surplus lift causes the aircraft to pitch up. But then airspeed decreases and the aircraft pitches down to overcome the increased drag. This might cause you to pull even more. You could call this a vicious cycle a pull runaway. The pull runaway quickly brings you to the critical angle of attack. And the aircraft stalls. Now hopefully you still have enough altitude to recover. Therefore, if you control your glide path by pitch, it's of utmost importance to have a watchful eye on your airspeed and to provide the required power. Better yet, especially if you are still further out on the approach, is to pitch and trim for airspeed and to control the glide path with power. This prevents the above-mentioned puller runaway in the first place. This brings us to the end of this video, and you can play with the sim for yourself if you want. A link is in the description below. A nice experiment is to select the level flight and to add or remove power. Try to find out what happens and why. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, then please give it a like. Thanks for watching and see you next time.